What if I told you Miles Morales might be closer to the MCU than we think, and Marvel could be hiding the biggest clue in plain sight, inside Daredevil Born Again? A bearded Kingpin? A mysterious leak? A comic storyline where Spider-Man dies? Yeah, this might be way bigger than you think. But is Marvel setting up Miles' debut, or are we all being played? Let's break it down.
This is the way. This is the way.
Welcome to Fatherly Fandom. I'm your host, Chris, and if you love Marvel deep dives, breakdowns, and all things nerdy, go ahead and smash that subscribe button. Your inner nerd will thank you. All right, today we're diving into one big question. When and how are we finally going to get Miles Morales in the MCU? Let's get into it. So let's talk about the leak. So we've got another leaked photo from the set of Daredevil Born Again Season 3. And at this point, I gotta ask you guys, is Marvel just trolling us now? Because if this leak is real, it opens up some wild possibilities. So Vincent D'Onofrio, our Kingpin, was spotted filming out on the street with a beard. Now that might not sound like much, but why is Fisk out in public? Why does he look different? And most importantly, did he ever go to prison? Because if he didn't, that could mean Kingpin is back, fully unleashed and rebuilding his criminal empire. All right, buckle up because we're going into full beard theory here. Once again, we have another comic connection, guys. There's a version of Wilson Fisk from an alternate universe tied to Miles Morales comics, specifically during the Saladin Ahmed's version on Miles Morales' Spider-Man. In this storyline, Miles faces his own clone, Salem, but instead of Miles winning, Salem kills him and takes over Brooklyn. Yeah, it gets dark. Salem builds a brutal empire, and when Fisk tries to take control, he gets defeated, thrown in prison, starved and tortured, and the world is told he's dead. And this is where things get interesting, guys. When Fisk eventually returns, he's thinner, broken, and yeah, he's got a beard. So let me ask you, what if that version of Kingpin is what Marvel is hinting at right now? Now here's where things get really interesting, guys. What if Miles Morales actually debuts in Daredevil Born Again Season 3? I mean, think about it. Street level story, Kingpin as a major villain, Brooklyn connections, it actually fits really well here. But there is a problem. Sony. So here's the deal. Sony owns the film rights to Spider-Man and over 900 related characters. That includes Miles Morales. They bought those rights back in 1998 for around $7 million, which now feels like the biggest steal in Hollywood history. Now, because of that, Sony controls live-action Spider-Man movies and TV. Marvel Studios can only use Spider-Man through a partnership. And Tom Holland's Spider-Man, he can't even show up in live-action Disney Plus shows. So yeah, that makes a Miles cameo in Daredevil Born Again pretty unlikely, but not impossible. Here's the thing though, Miles already exists in the MCU. We've actually seen his uncle. Donald Glover played Aaron Davis, aka the Prowler, in Spider-Man Homecoming. And he literally mentions his nephew.
Yeah, sorry, Miles. I'm not gonna make it.
So, where's Miles right now? Is he already a kid in the MCU? Or is Marvel saving him for something bigger? Alright, let's talk about some of the big theories. The top theories for Miles' live-action debut. Theory number 1, Avengers Secret Wars. Miles shows up during a multiverse collapse and ends up in the main MCU timeline. This actually lines up with the 2015 Secret Wars comic. So I gotta ask you guys, could Miles be the emotional core of that movie? Theory number 2, Spider-Man 4 or 5. In this scenario, Peter Parker becomes the mentor. Miles becomes the student. A true passing of the torch story, but is it too soon for Peter to step back? I know Tom Holland does want to retire on a farm with Zendaya, so maybe? Alright, theory number 3, Beyond the Spider-Verse crossover. Maybe we see animated Miles cross into live action, and honestly, this might be the smoothest way to do it. Theory number 4, post-multiverse soft reboot. After Secret Wars, the MCU resets. Miles becomes the main Spider-Man going forward. So I gotta ask you, would you be okay with Miles replacing Peter as the face of Spider-Man? Now here's the biggest factor. Kevin Feige has said Marvel is basically being told to stay away from Miles for now until Sony finishes the animated Spider-Verse trilogy, which means earliest realistic debut around 2027 or later. So now I gotta ask you, do you want to see Miles Morales in the MCU? Where should he debut? Daredevil, Secret War, or Spider-Man Brand New Day or Beyond? And who should play him in live action? So drop your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one of them. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with your fellow Marvel fans. And as always, stay nerdy, my friends, and I will see you next time.